Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. This is the chart for the new moon, 1st of October 2016. It's set for the UK, it's set for London, and we're in British summertime, so this will occur at 1:11 in the morning. Now, in the news you might have heard about the Black Moon, which is a term, it's not an astronomical term, it's basically if there are two new moons in a month. Here in the UK that doesn't occur. It will occur this month in October. Meanwhile, that expression, always at the new moon, the moon is dark, we can't see it, it's invisible. It's always a time to go within, it's always a time for an inner process, meditation, and also to plant new seeds for the month, because that's exactly what a new moon is, a new beginning. Now this new moon has got some very beautiful qualities about it because we now have Jupiter in Libra. So here in Libra, Jupiter, Moon, Sun, all joining together. So a new moon, this new moon is basically seeding the energy now of Jupiter in the relationship sign of Libra. It's good news for all Librans for the whole of the year, you'd be glad to know. This is all about harmony and balance and fairness. Justice is Libra. That inner quality of inner peace can be hard won. The energy that we have here at this new moon is also going to be, how do we say it, there's going to be some trials and tribulations this month, because Mars is now in Capricorn and it's creating a tension with Jupiter, the Sun and the Moon. Mars is pushing ahead now in Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign that step by step gets to the top, very ambitious. It doesn't give in. So that's one thing to know about this month. If you're progressing in any stage of your life, any project, whatever you're doing, is to keep going no matter what. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Venus, the other very important personal planet, because Libra is governed by Venus. Venus is now sitting here in Scorpio at 9 degrees, and right next to it is something called the Black Moon at 14 degrees of Scorpio. I'm alerted to this today by Rick Levine, a wonderful astrologer you might have heard of. He's on the internet all the time. Now the Black Moon is known as Lilith. In the mythology, Lilith was Adam's first wife, and she refused to lie underneath him in intercourse. She believed she was his equal. Sound familiar, ladies? Anyhow, because of this, he complained to God, otherwise known in those days as Yahweh, and Lilith was banished. In her place, Eve was produced out of Adam's rib. Now this is a very deep psychological, spiritual process, because the equal feminine to the masculine was basically usurped, and the feminine then was inferior to the masculine. It meant that the feminine women weren't allowed to talk directly to God. They had to go through the masculine eye in the form of a priest. This is all about power, and Venus in Scorpio has a huge amount of power because it's governed by Mars and also Pluto, co-rulers of Scorpio. Scorpio is a deep, dark, intense sign. I am a sun sign Scorpio, so I do know what I'm talking about. It can push its energy down. I remember when I grew up, I didn't really want to say that I was a Scorpio because of the reputation Scorpio had. Now I understand it's one of the most powerful signs of the zodiac. I am biased. But Scorpio has three symbols: a scorpion, an eagle, and a phoenix or dove. So it has that process of transformation, metamorphosis, and evolution. And as you can see, There's a very good connection at this new moon of Venus, 9 degrees of Scorpio, with this blue line that takes it up to Neptune in Pisces, next to the South Node. Now these are both water signs, compatible. Neptune is the divine love. I love God, or the creator, or the goddess, whatever you want to call it. It's compassion, it's universal. Venus is personal love, I love you, rather than I love God. So the fact that these two are joined in this very positive energy is very good news. Mercury in Virgo is now moving forward. It's in its exalted sign, and Mercury is now behind the Sun, the Moon, which means it's acting as a psychopomp. Now what that means is it can go in, Mercury in mythology as Hermes, could go in and out of the underworld at will. The only god who could do this. And he was the one who went in and brought out Persephone. It's her time of year, Persephone, as the goddess Persephone descended back into the underworld to join her husband, Pluto, as she was the queen of souls. That's quite significant also at this time. Now, we have, throughout the month, we're going to be building to a full moon, which is quite electrifying. However, let's stick with the first 2 weeks. Mercury is opposite Chiron for the last and final time, you'll be glad to know, on the 2nd of October. That's been going backwards and forwards, so Chiron is the wounded healer, but he's also the shaman. Chiron is the rainbow bridge. It stands at the door. It's between Saturn and Uranus. It's a gateway. That's very relevant because Mercury, as the Hermes, the psychopomp, can also be acting in that way. You might find that you're having very powerful dreams at this time. Pluto is now moving direct, by the way. It's a slow process. Every year it will go retrograde, but it's now moving forward through Capricorn. And in the course of the month, planets in Libra will make a right angle, a square to Mars, a square to Pluto. That is a theme that will be under the undercurrent of the month. On my website, I'm discussing the Black Moon Lilith, the power of the feminine, because I believe that's a very important signature of this new moon. Also, empowerment. I've been following the Venus cycle, the shamanic cycle of Venus joining the moon each month as the evening star. Her next joining with the moon will be in Scorpio at 13 degrees. That occurs on the 3rd of October. That's this coming Monday. And that is the power chakra. So as you can see, there's a lot of huge amount of hidden power at this time. This is very positive for those of us who want to embrace our power with our purpose, who want to look at that dark feminine and recognize that it's actually the truth of the feminine, mysterious, hypnotic, but willing to go deep into the feelings in order to have deep healings. Please look at my website. As I said, I go into the Dark Goddess. I also sell a very good report called The 12 Goddesses. These are the goddesses of the earth, of heaven, the underworld. They are quite extraordinary stories, and they add a richness to your birth chart that you otherwise might not have seen. It doesn't cover Lilith, unfortunately, but it covers an awful lot more. Signing off this month, thank you for watching. Pam Carruthers at healingstars.com.